What's up, guys? Welcome back, Numeron. Jesus Christ, what were they thinking? I think already, everyone already has seen the cards. New one, monster, I guess, regular monster, effect monster, basically a terraforming for the archetype for Numerons. They've got two spells, one field spell and one summoning spell, but let's face it, their field spell is a crucial card. It lets you activate their Numeron calling, their spell card. It's basically a soul charge for 4 extra deck monsters, so for 4 Numeron or number monsters. Right, your level or rank 1 exceeds, by the way. Very easy to get on the field, and you know that screams for YgoPro shenanigans. If going first, there are other options, because this field spell into Foolish Burial of Goods, a spell card from your deck to the graveyard to use the effect, free effect. Basically, it's like a free Link 4, right? Without any, it's without any like risks. Maybe the risk is of opening the spell card, the soul charge, right? But again, and that's one of the reasons why I'm only main decking a 2-off. That's fine. Memories of Hope, in theory, is very good. It gives 4 free draws. I believe like 1 draw for every exceed you control, and there's of course 4, so 4 free draws. But I mean, it's a dead top deck card, so it might be, purely competitively speaking, it might not be worth it. But whatever, just draw 4. Yeah, and I mean. The engine on its own, as I mentioned before, doesn't really come with any big consequences. Okay, it does need some form of extra deck space with your 5th, like the small boss monster, I guess. Which is cool. It's basically a nuke effect. It has a nuke effect. Banish all monsters on the field when it's exceed summoned. We'll be using it within the next couple of moments. But again, pretty straightforward. Going first. Again, a free YgoPro with 3 materials. Again, your opponent is not able to activate like any card effects, basically blocking them from the duel. So they basically need like a Chalice, Forbidden Chalice, or Impermanence to immediately use on the YgoPro during their turn. But I added in the Invoked engine, pretty straightforward. It's a 1-card engine, and seeing that we might get more support for Numeron, you need to, well, you know, look out for other engines that go well with the deck, and the Exceeds are light, and that just screams for the Makaba. So going second, and as you see, I was main decking 3 tactical talents in the main deck, but I eventually opted to drop it. It wasn't really working out too well, and as you see, already added in Dark Ruler no more. That's just better. Going second, the number monsters, the field spell, you know, the soul charge, and so on, could lead to an OTK, because all of the number monsters have like the same effect, that during the battle phase, if the monster battles an opponent's monster, you have to detach a card from them, and then all number monsters will double their attack, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, their attack will be doubled. But again, the field spell states that you don't need to detach. And that's where the fun comes into play, is that you can keep attacking with all of your number monsters, and then that could lead to a potential OTK. If not, the potential burn damage will be enough with with this guy. Sunya, I believe the name is the Link 2, I guess. It's basically, what is the name of the Link 4? That like banishes all monsters on the field when it's summoned, you know which one I mean. And your Sunya is special summoned back again during the next standby phase, during your next standby phase, and if your field spell is still face up on the field, your opponent will get like burn damage, I believe for every, is it for every Exceed monster that was banished? But again, something like that, but a huge amount of burn damage, and after a huge attack in the previous turn, it might be enough. But yeah, Dark Ruler no more says no damage. So I can follow it up with the good old school Invoked play, and this should be exactly 8,000, no, 9,000 points, 9k, 9k to the face, really. Well, yeah, the Invoker engine, I guess, comes into play, and the deck needs something. You can't play like pure Numeron. You need something to work with. Invoked is very good. I might, or at least I'm contemplating on adding in Magnites as well, seeing that you know, like they also got like a terraforming, their monster, their level 1 monster, but that only works if you don't control any cards, and you have like face-up cards as well. So yeah, if you have like the purple Magnite, you know, but then again, you're not dropping Magnites if you don't control cards. So I'm just saying that there might be some space of adding in more beneficial cards, more engine cards. So YgoPro, if the opponent is not able to answer it, they'll definitely be in a tough position. Well, an option here probably would have been like Roar or Rage in favor of Salamangreats. Yeah, Scoop Phase has been entered again. So going first again, yeah, okay, the Terraforming is basically a Battle Fader as well. You can drop it, and then after the damage step or damage calculation, your opponent needs to end the Battle Phase. So yeah, YgoPro, but get impermanent. So that's a problem, since 3 tactical talents is quite useless in the hand, and drawing their Numeron wall, it's an extra brick, and yeah, Alistair, double Alistair is not really helping out too much. I'm running a lot of hand traps, but that wasn't the case here. A Nibiru definitely helped out, and that's probably, you know, I'm hinting towards maybe more hand traps. So yeah, anyway, it's not looking too good, since, as you saw, okay, it does, the engine, the Numeron engine does, is asking some extra deck space, but I don't feel that I need to add in more engine, or at least that I have to dedicate more extra deck space for that. I think one huge summon is fine, one like huge soul charge is fine. So yeah, that's where I was talking about, like the draw card in theory is cute, but in these situations, when you actually need other cards, that will be the card you're top decking, so probably like from purely a competitive side or a competitive view, this engine frightens me a little bit. It's quite legit, since that there is not really a downside, maybe of, well, you opening with their soul charge spell, you know which one I mean, since you need to control the field spell as well, so it's more optimal to have the field spell first. But okay, it does ask some extra deck space, but it's basically a Freeling 4, or the, what is it called, that big Link boss monster that was, or at least is being played in Zodiacs. You know which one, like the big castle. Yeah, you know which one, it's in the extra deck as well, I forgot its name. So yeah, anyway, dropped Sunya again. The burn damage will be lethal if my field spell survives, so I have to, well, only have Call by the Grave, I think, and Galaxy Cyclone, is it? I believe it's Cyclone, so yeah, the Call by the Grave was definitely needed to prevent the Foxy from destroying my field spell, but eventually it will happen, since I think well, yeah, the Cyclone will eventually be forced out, and again, I won't, or at least my opponent won't get the burn damage if the field spell is not face up, and both Rage and Roar will either prevent the Exceed from being special summoned again, yeah, what happens here, or the Roar will just have popped the field spell, right? Anyway, so the Invoked engine, definitely a solid top deck, gets me back in a duel, drops the Makaba here, yeah, indeed, so probably are wanted to go for, well, yeah, long story short, 3 tactical talents, and yeah, but yeah, okay, it was game either way. Okay, but yeah, I'm not going to activate the upstart, right? Last example again, going second. Good start, but again, that Numeron calling their soul charge feels dead in the opening hand. But that's again where like Makaba could come into play. Discard the spell, negate the opponent's spell. So, I mean, it's not completely dead or completely stuck in your hand, right? But it's not really optimal. So this is cool. Well, the impermanence was needed, no Dark Ruler, no more. But impermanence was needed on the Appaloosa, so I can use my quote-unquote terraforming. And is this game? Yeah, this should be game, yeah, because yeah, the Appaloosa is at 0 attack. So the monsters are not, well, you know, like these Numeron monsters, when they are battling an opponent's monster, they won't be destroyed by battle, you'll just get damage. But again, every time they battle, at least their monsters or their attack will be doubled. So child's play. Eventually 16k attack, but again, you're not able to attack anymore after that, but 8k to the face most of the time might be enough, otherwise the burn damage might help out later. So as a whole, it's frightening. It's definitely frightening. It's because again, the engine doesn't need, it does need some extra deck space, but there are so many decks, I'm looking at invoked top tier decks, that might can save up or free up the space for that. The only risk I feel is drawing the spell, but I mean, same counts for a card like Brilliant Fusion, right? Brilliant Fusion so good, plus, not forget, is you can surge a Numeron field spell with the Numeron monster, so the engine feels quite consistent, and it's quite frightening, right? I mean, there are probably many more options to play in the deck. So again, like always, feel free to leave feedback about decks, options, testing. Yeah, testing cards, testing abilities. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. What were you thinking? Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.